The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm going to do a features inspection of the latest model coming out of the Beneteau shipyards, the Swift 47. Many improvements have been made in this from lessons learned on previous models, and I'm most impressed with the open and airy atmosphere that's so inviting from both an entertainment aspect and a cruising aspect. Let's take a look inside where it all starts as we go in through this door that opens 6 feet 3 inches wide. Well, of course we have the Trawler DNA that we're so familiar with the brand. Plenty of open counter space, fiddles on the edges, visibility all around, nearly wraparound with few exceptions. Grab handle in the center of the salon because this boat is made to be underway. There's a couch over on the starboard side, and this is a pull-out couch, so we can make it into a berth if we want to. And in the event we do that, curtains close off the whole area for privacy. And we have a table that easily expands to add even more functionality. The ottoman includes storage inside. Now, as far as those improvements from lessons learned through all the previous models they've built, starts right here. They've taken refrigeration very seriously. Freezer, ice maker, refrigerator underneath, storage here. And look at the finish on this deck. Really adds to the class level of the boat. As we continue forward, the helm, which is usually over to the starboard side, has now been moved to the center, but to make sure it doesn't interfere with any of the galley space, just a push of a release button and then the seat swivels forward. Now we've got all our open counter space. Refrigeration underneath, double basin stainless steel sink, storage in the counter, and behind, a convection oven is just below, 2-burner cooktop with pop-up fiddles, and we've got ventilation both in the side window and the starboard side door. Of course, the spaciousness continues as we move out onto this aft deck. 65 square feet of space in this area alone. There's a bench seat going across the transom. Of course, we can bring the table from the salon out to this area to increase this area's functionality. And take a look at this clever little piece of hardware. Stairs that compress up against the forward bulkhead. And all this is under the protection of the extended overhead 7 feet off the deck. Of course, everybody that's in the cockpit is also going to be able to enjoy the company of anyone that might be on the swim platform. It comes out 4 feet 8 inches from the transom. 4 feet of it is hydraulically actuated, so we can make this into a teak beach. There are chocks in the center so we can store a tender here, and of course there's a concealed reboarding ladder over to the starboard side. But even more importantly is, look at this, 35 inches, and it's on the same level as the cockpit. More entertainment can take place up in the Flybridge, which is among the largest I've seen in the Swift Trawler lineup, and it's the first from the brand with a hardtop.
Well, when I say this is among the largest Flybridge decks in the lineup, I mean it. Let's start aft with this open space. It measures 8 feet by 6 feet 4 inches and is ready to be populated with deck or lounge chairs. It's surrounded by 23-inch rails for safety, and this section opens to accommodate placing an enclosed life raft here. Just ahead is open counter space with a hatch that lifts to expose an electric grill and sink. Below is a 12-volt refrigerator and a trash receptacle. As we continue forward, there's a convenient grab handle alongside the grilling console. Ahead is another social zone with seating all around. A solid wood table is on dual pedestals, and notice how the table not only slides, but expands to accommodate those seated at all sides. When it's time to get underway, we can flip the port and starboard seat backs to forward facing, and of course rotate the helm seat around so we can all enjoy the same view as the captain. Now, I said that this is the first of the Swift Trawler lineup with a hardtop, and to further illustrate how large this bridge deck is, this is the same hardtop as on Beneteau's 60-foot Monte Carlo 6. It's supported by beefy stainless stanchions both fore and aft, and includes electrically actuated opening sunroof.
The Swift 47 has an asymmetrical layout, 12-inch side decks to the port hand side, 22-inch wide to the starboard side, and I really like how there's a door that we can close off to get a little more protection for the cockpit space, and in the open position it's held in place biomagnetic catch. Let's head forward. I like the protection of the 30-inch high bulwarks. There's also protection overhead, so we can make this into a weather deck. And there's also an opening side door to the outside of the bulwarks, directly across from a sliding door leading inside. And notice that this door also latches in 1, 2, 3 positions before closing off. Continuing forward up 3 steps, now the rail comes up 32 inches for safety, and this on top of an 8-inch tow rail. Fully forward, there's a sun pad. I like how we don't have to remove the sun pad entirely to gain some light through the hatch below into the forward stateroom, but also look at this. We can turn it into a forward-facing seat that latches into 1, 2 separate positions. Now let's take a look down below, where we have 3 staterooms and 2 heads. Average height of the overhead ceilings, 6 feet 7 inches. And as we make our way through this starboard side companionway, it's hard not to notice the beautiful fit and finish that we're just seeing throughout this yacht. Now, just at the bottom of the stairs, take a look at this inside the panel. Combination washer dryer. And we'll begin by looking at the master stateroom fully forward. This stateroom is laid out in the typical fashion of a bow stateroom with an island berth accessible from both sides. There are hull side windows to port and starboard with opening port lights just behind. Happy to see that Beneteau took good advantage of the space above for storage. Still more storage is under the berth. Over on the starboard side, 28-inch flat screen TV, and I really like how Beneteau did the thoughtful touch of making the head into a split head arrangement. Water closet over to the starboard side with the toilet, vessel sink, and opening port light, and over on the port hand side, shower, again with an opening port light adding ventilation. Now, as for the remaining accommodations, 2 staterooms just aft. Over to the starboard side will be for a couple. To the port hand side, 2 single berths. They both have plenty of storage, natural light coming in. There's an opening port light on the bulkhead just at the entrance to the starboard. The day head, this is also going to be a shared head, has a separate walk-in shower, and the toilet is in the shower area so that we can have somebody in the shower space while having a separate person at the sink, 2 people getting ready at the same time. Now, this isn't too narrow an area, but I suppose some might consider it a little bit narrow. And for that reason, notice the latches. They remain recessed until the door closes, and a magnet brings the latch out. Well, clearly we've got a boat that's so much more than a cruising couple's boat. She's great for entertaining, whether at the dock or out in the water. For overnight accommodations, she can handle 6 or 8. And she's a great handling boat, but that's another video. Be sure to look for it. For now, that's my full features inspection of the Swift Trawler 47 from Beneteau. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.